Hey guys, welcome back to Tech Talk Fridays. Thanks for checking in at the new time slot, 3 o'clock. There's a good chance this will be the new time slot moving forward. So put it in your diaries and hopefully I'll see you guys week to week. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about control. I'm going to talk about control in the home, so in a living room or a theater room, and I'm going to talk about control of a smart home in terms of apps and that sort of thing. So what I'd, I guess, like to talk about is, and a lot of us have seen this over the years, we've had lots of challenges. So when we have a living room or a home theater room that's full of equipment, what we inherently end up with is a lot of remote control. So I'm here in one of our lounge rooms here in the iHome showroom. What I've got behind me is the Sony Smart TV, 75-inch, and there's a number of remote controls that come along with this room. So I'm just going to run you through a few of the remotes, and a lot of you guys will probably get a similar sense of what's going on your coffee tables at home. So in the lounge room here, we've got a surround sound system that runs off a Marantz amplifier. So we've got the remote for the Marantz amp. We've got the Sony Smart TV, so we've got the remote for the TV. We've got a Sony 4K Blu-ray player, so there's the remote for the Blu-ray player that'll play DVDs and all that jazz. We've got security cameras, and our security camera recorder is here in our living room, so we've got the remote control for the camera recorder. So I'll just add that to the pile. We've got our Apple TV, that's what the screensaver is behind me. So we've got the Apple TV remote with Siri on board, so I'll just add that to the pile. And our little AV cabinet here has got some color changing rope lights under it that you can pick red, green, blue, and change rainbow colors and all that sort of thing. So we've got the remote for that as well. So there we are, just in our living room. We've got a whole stack of remote controls there. And I guess the classic example is when you want to do something really simple. You come into the room, you've gone to JB Hi-Fi, you've bought a new Blu-ray movie, and you want to come home and watch it, and you've got to go through the maze. Right, I need to get my TV remote, turn it on, then I've got to use the input button to select the HDMI, and then I can put that one away. Then I get my surround sound remote and I turn it on, and then I've got to find the right button to put it to the right HDMI input and adjust the volume. Then I can put that one away. Then I'll get the Sony Blu-ray remote and I'll make sure that's on, and then I'll put the disc in and I'll hit play. Not loud enough. Right, let me get that other remote back out. That's the Marantz one, so I'll just go ahead and adjust the volume there. And oh, somebody's rung the doorbell. I better pause the movie. I'll just get that other remote back out, pause the movie to go and answer the door. You get the idea. Now throw other devices into the mix. Think about Fetch TV. Think about Foxtel. You might have a digital set-top box. You might have a different media player. You might have video games consoles. All of a sudden, you're left with just this absolute minefield of what button does what HDMI do I need to be on, and which one turns the volume up, and how do I pause that? And it gets hard, and you get to that point where there's only one person in the household or one person in the family that knows how to use it. And so a lot of people stop using the room. The number one complaint we hear about theater rooms is that the family doesn't enjoy it because it's just not easy enough to use. So a couple of times you will have heard me talking about one of our sort of preferred smart home platforms. It's called Control 4. One thing that Control 4 does that makes life really easy is they make a universal remote. Now, Control 4 is not the only company out there making universal remotes. There's a ton of other companies we've dealt with in the past, like RTI, companies that you can buy do-it-yourself style products from retailers and products like Logitech Harmony and what have you. And the idea of these universal controls is to replace the other stack of remotes with one simple to use remote. So now if I'm in my living room here and I want to go from watching the Apple TV to watching the Blu-ray, I hit the button that says watch, and I just navigate down to whatever it is that I want to pick, Blu-ray, and I hit OK, and it'll go ahead and change all the settings on the TV. If I want to watch TV, I just pick Freeview, and it'll go over to the TV. And then if I want to change channels, I just use the channel up and down button, just like a normal remote, to change channels. It's really easy to get along with. You want to watch Netflix is a bit further down the menu here. So you want to watch Netflix, you go in, you pick Netflix, it dials up Netflix, then you use the remote to pick which profile you want, and you go in, right? So universal remote will replace every other remote in the room, makes life super easy. to get along with, makes it very family friendly, simple volume control, simple channel controls. All your buttons for play, pause, stop, etc. are all in one place. And it doesn't matter if you're watching the Apple TV or Netflix or Foxtel or a Blu-ray, play, pause, stop, always just stop the thing you're watching. The volume will always turn up the volume on the surround sound. It will never get confused and try and turn up the telly or the speaker in the backyard. It just rinse and repeat stuff. Works really, really well. It's very easy to get along with. Look, that costs a little bit of money, but we're not talking metric tons. If you've invested a few $1,000s in your home theater system, this is a really good investment. It's available running just on AA batteries. It's available running with rechargeable batteries, comes with a little charging cradle that you can dock it in when you're not using it. Now, I guess the slightly more modern version of this story is, oh, sorry, we've got a question here. How much is this? Can you supply when you fit my 2 TVs? Look, we can definitely supply this when we fit your TVs. Perfect time to look at doing it. Let me get back to you on that. I'll have to have a look at your system and work out what's going to be involved to give you exact pricing. But to give you an idea, we can do the universal remote controls starting from about $9.99. So let me have a look into your job and I'll get back to you after the live broadcast. Thank you for the question. So I guess the remote control thing is something that's been a problem for a lot of people for a lot of time. One of the, I guess, slightly more modern challenges that we're having now is the same problem, but with apps for our smart home. And when you think about the things that you have in a home these days, you might have some smart lights from the likes of Philips Hue or Fibaro or CBus or something. You might have an alarm system that has an app. You might have security cameras that have an app. Maybe you've got a music system that's got an app. Think Sonos, Hios, Bose. You might have any number of an air conditioning system that's got an app, right? So all these different things, and all of a sudden, instead of a coffee table full of remotes like I was showing you before, and I'm just grabbing my phone here, you end up with a phone full of apps, right? So this is my personal phone. This is all the apps that I use at my house to control my music, my cameras, my aircon, my Amazon Echo voice assistant, my smart lights from Fibaro, my smart lamps from Philips Hue, the whatever. It's all there, right? And some people argue that that's pretty easy. But again, there's an ability to go to that next level of simplicity. So instead of having 1,000,001 different apps, we can just open the Control 4 app, and this is actually going to connect to my house live in real time, and this will go ahead and give me access to control everything from one place. So that's now connected to my house, and from here I can pick which room I want to control. So I can pick my living room, and I can control the smart lights, or I could control the TV, and I can, same as on the remote control, I can just hit I want to watch and hit Netflix, and that'll go ahead and turn my telly on, and now that's my remote control for controlling Netflix on the TV. If I want to check my cameras, I can simply go into security. It'll bring up my camera feeds. I can click on any given camera. It'll load that up and show me what's going on at home. I could turn my alarm on and off, or I could open and close my garage door, or I could choose the music that I want to listen to. It's all in one place. So rather than having 1,000,000 different apps to control my garage door, my lights, my deadbolt, my music, my smart TV, my Apple TV, my air conditioning, my security cameras, it's all in one place. So for us, I guess when we talk smart home, this is what we're talking. We're not talking one home with 20 apps. We're talking one home with one app, and everything being centralized and everything being really easy to use. So whether you want to go a remote control, whether you want to go an app, whether that's on iOS or Android or smartphone or tablet, they're all available. So I guess just give us a call. If you want to know more about how we can simplify all the different technologies that are out there for your home, this is something that all of us guys here at Intelligent Home are really passionate about, making this stuff easy. We find that this is, like I said before, the #1 complaint we get is that it's hard. And when it's hard, people don't use it. There's always that one person in the family that's got their head right around it, knows exactly how to do it, but there's probably more people in the family that don't. So a product like Control 4 or another universal remote control may just tip the balance back in the favor of everybody really using that investment, that home theater system, the music system in the backyard, checking on the cameras. So yeah, look, guys, that's pretty much me. I didn't want this one to go for too long and drag on, but if you have any questions, hit us up. Oh, we just got one more question right on the closing bell. Can this overlay have a few different apps that we already have? Security, doorbell, Wiser for lights, Sonos. Look, Sandra, yes, that's exactly right. So you've nailed it. So products like your alarm system, your doorbell video intercom, your lighting control, your Sonos music system can all be bridged together within a platform like Control4 so that you can very easily in one place use them. One of the other cool things that it does, and I'll touch on this quickly, is it bridges the gap between multiple services. So just as an example, I'll use my house as an example. The lighting control system that I have at home is called Fabaro, and Fabaro is a Polish company, great for retrofit application of smart lights. And I've got that controlling all the lights in my house, and it's also controlling the exhaust fan in my ensuite. At the same time, the music system that I use at home is Denon's HEOS, and by default, they are two completely segregated products. Using Control4, I guess, as a bridge, or what I call a technology umbrella that goes over all of the technology in the home, I've created a little rule. Very simply, if I turn on the exhaust fan in my ensuite, it automatically increases the volume of the speakers in the ensuite so that I can hear the music above the fan. Turn the fan off, music goes back down again. I know that's not a big deal for a lot of people out there. It's very much something that I've designed for myself and my wife to enjoy. And it just works. It's just one of those things. You don't jump into the bathroom and head for the shower and go, oh, I need to go find my phone or that app or that remote to adjust the volume. It just happens. And that's exactly what we want to be talking about. So whatever level you think you want to go to with your smart home ambitions, your control ambitions, give us a call. We'll have a solution for you. We'd love to talk to you about what products you've got and how we can help you make maybe a little more efficient use of them. Thanks again, guys. Thanks for watching. Watch this space next week, 3 o'clock next week for Tech Talk Fridays again. Have a great weekend, and I'll see everybody then. Take care.